please go on. We would request you to restart and let us know about your background.
Sure, would love that. So hi everyone. Hi again. I am Anubhuti. I'm currently a second year student at SOIL. I'm an incoming management trainee with Aditya Birla Capital. I did my internship with ITC Limited in their foods and beverages department as a marketing intern. I have my academic roots in Varanasi, but I did my graduation from Lucknow, the capital of Uttar Pradesh, where I did BBA in international business. I had several startups in past, and I have been participating in several entrepreneurial competitions in my graduation times.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Seems like you have a very diverse background. What was your educational background like?
All right, so I was a science student with PBMC, all kinds of science subjects: physics,
Oh,
chemistry, maths.
and how about your transition to MBA then? When did you decide
That's
that you would?
That's quite an interesting story. So, back in 2017, I was preparing for NEET, and I secured a rank wherein I was able to get BAMS and BHMS colleges. And I
Hmm.
decided, if not MBBS, I will not put myself into medical at all. And from there, I identified one problem. Again, the problem identification process started back then in 2018 only. That we are studying in a batch of hundreds and 150 students in a classroom, wherein if you are a mediocre student, mediocrity chooses nobody.
Hmm.
So there I understood that if I want to shine, I have to choose something wherein I'll be shining in my niche, in my own niche. And I identified that I was heading a few clubs in schools, and I always ran after organizing things. And I found that at the sweet spot of all kinds of characteristics that my behavior was having, management was something that was really tracing at that point of time. And that's how management happened for me, IB happened for me.
Hmm. And you had some experience. You said that you had a couple of startups. तो आपने college के बाद पहले कुछ किया and then you joined
For a
Soil.
year, I did a edtech startup wherein
Hmm.
we did a mentorship program for NEET PG and NEET UG students. As a NEET failure to a person who was supporting NEET students, I had a successful startup wherein I onboarded somewhere around 2000 plus enrollments. Plus, I had a biggest community of PG preparation students from NEET category only, with some of the best mentors of India. So I'm really proud on that terms.
That's really good to hear, especially as someone who tries to mentor other people in the MBA category. So really good to hear. Pavitra, what about you? What is your background like?
So, hello everyone. I am Pavitra, and I'm basically from Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore to be specific, but I have lived all over India. My father is in the armed forces, so it's safe to say that I've seen all states and all cities in India. And I have done my BSc psychology from Tamil Nadu as well, and I have been studying in Kendra Vidyalaya since it's the go-to for every defense brat. And I have also been a national debate champion and a tennis player. So yeah, that's a little something. And I've been in every co-curricular and extracurricular activity you can think of. And I've also headed my department in schools and my undergrad as well. So yeah, that's a little something about me. And right now, I am the placement coordinator at Soil School of Business Design.
Then you can answer a lot of placement related questions for these guys. So perfect. And you transition from psychology to MBA, which is a
Yes.
very diverse degree. So I'm just going to ask it in the chat box, guys. Anyone among you who's a non-engineer, can you type up कौन से graduation degree से आते हो? So that if you have any of you wants to ask any questions related to academic diversity, या फिर कि पवित्रा को specifically if you want to ask कि whether for a non-engineer how is it to handle MBA, ये बहुत popular question होता है. You can just type out your graduation degrees and then we can take up some questions. What about you, Utsav?
So thank you so much. My name is Utsav Agrawal. So I'm from Bangalore, and my background of I'm a commerce background student. I've done BCom from Bangalore itself, and apart from that, I've also done CA Inter, and I've cleared CA Inter, and like I have 6 months of experience, which I've done in finance field. It's in HPE. And apart from my curriculum, I always like to take part in various activities And I am also a member with Pavitra. I'm a member of placement committee. And I used to play, or I've represented my school and colleges for basketball. And I'm also a very sports player, outdoor sports player. So yeah, that's pretty much about me.
आई थिंक आप तीनों का ही एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर में काफी ज्यादा इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहा है, सो दैट्स वेरी गुड टू नो। एंड इसके बेसिस पे मुझे एक क्वेश्चन भी पूछना है। आई थिंक आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद दैट क्वेश्चन इटसेल्फ, बिकॉज मैं चैट बॉक्स में भी देख पा रही हूँ लोग बीबीए, बीकॉम, लिटरेचर, बहुत ही डाइवर्स बैकग्राउंड से आते हैं। सो मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि आपके बैच में, एंड ऑल्सो टू क्लैरिफाई हियर, अनुभूति फ्रॉम सेकेंड ईयर एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ द टू आर फ्रॉम फर्स्ट ईयर। सो पवित्रा और उत्सव आपके फर्स्ट ईयर वाले क्वेश्चंस का बेटर आंसर कर पाएंगे। सो आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली कि आपके बैच में व्हेन यू लुक अराउंड अदर पीपल, आपको ऐसा लगता है कि सबकी प्रोफाइल में कुछ ना कुछ बढ़िया है ही, जैसे एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर है या कोई एकेडमिकली बहुत अच्छा है, या डू यू फील कि ऐसे लोग भी हैं जो लेट से अगर एग्जाम में ही अच्छा स्कोर करते हैं, ओवरऑल प्रोफाइल डिसेंट है या नहीं अच्छी है, तो भी वो सॉइल में पढ़ रहे हैं? व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन एग्जाम्स का स्कोर, विच इज कैट वगैरह का स्कोर, वर्सेस प्रोफाइल? कौन सी चीज ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है टू गेट इनटू सॉइल?
So I'd like to start by saying, even while selecting students for soil, hum academics, everything is seen, not just your exam scores, but if you look around the batch, especially in my batch, सबके प्रोफाइल में ऐसा कुछ ना कुछ होता है जो उन्होंने किया हो और जहाँ पे वो आउटशाइन किए हो। डजंट हैव टू बी लाइक वन पर्टिकुलर थिंग कि आपने एग्जाम्स में ही अच्छा किया है या 11th 12th में आप बहुत ही अच्छे नंबर लाए हो, बाकी में कुछ नहीं किया, ऐसे नहीं। देर इज ऑलवेज समथिंग दैट समबडी हैज डन, एंड इवन इन द सिलेक्शन लाइक पूरा क्यूमुलेटिव देखते हैं। So yeah, in my batch, that's how we build a very diverse community as well. Everyone has something which is unique to them, and that's how we, learn from each other in the campus as well.
So I would like to add one thing here, that in our campus we practice self-leadership. And the self-leadership concept itself says that everybody, they have to understand what kind of qualities they are coming up with, what kind of capabilities do they have. So in our admission process also, that is also look upon, and there is no strict criteria. There is obviously a hygiene check for the background scores, but again, better the profile, better the chances of admission.
सो इस पॉइंट पे एक क्वेश्चन जो बहुत ज्यादा पूछा जा रहा है चैट बॉक्स में, एंड विच ऑब्वियसली इज गोइंग टू फॉलो, इज कि कट ऑफ्स कैसी होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज यू मेंशन कि प्रोफाइल बेस्ड है, तो एज सच कोई कट ऑफ तो नहीं हुई, मतलब ऐसे ऑन पेपर तो कोई कट ऑफ नहीं हुई कि इसके ऊपर होगा तो ही आपका सिलेक्शन होएगा, राइट? बट देन व्हाट वुड यू से इज अ सेफ नंबर? अभी मोस्ट ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट एग्जाम्स आर डन, so what would you say is a safe number for them?
I'll answer it very properly, that for 2 year PGTM program, we don't have a predefined cutoffs in respect to CAT, ZAT, and NMAT, all other examination. We shortlist students considering their overall profile, going beyond their academic scores. The following key aspects that I'm about to say, that first is leadership potential, their academic excellence, their extracurriculars, plus their intellectual capacity as well as a person. Then we have a selection process wherein we do GD and GE, which is group discussion and group exercise, followed with personal interviews. However, the average score for the class through CAT and ZAT last year was in range of 75 to 85 percentile. In MAT, it goes around somewhere 200 to 210. And for CMAT MAT, it was 90 to 95 percentile.
Okay. So you, for CAT you said 75 to 80, and MAT
85.
you said 85.
Two,
Okay.
yeah.
And
NMAT
NMAT
210.
200 to
And
210.
yeah, CMAT and MAT, it was 90 to 95.
Okay, 90 to 95. Guys, I hope you took a note of that. And अगर कोई भी ऐसी चीज है जो आप और पूछना चाहते हो with regards to these exams, तो do tell. Anubhuti, I have a follow-up here. You said CAT के लिए, मान लो, I'll take CAT का example only. You said 75 to 85. अगर किसी के 75 के नीचे हैं, in that case, should they even apply to soil or not?
They should definitely apply, because if you have done something really well entire in the journey of your graduation, or you have appeared for a national competition, you will outshine no matter what.
And when you say कि if they've done something exceptional, उस केस में exceptional का exact meaning क्या हुआ? Because a lot of people
And
will be like कि हमें नहीं पता कि हमारी achievement अच्छी है या नहीं है.
I'll take an example of a national sports competition, maybe a international MUN. If you have appeared for a MUN and you have won that competition, or maybe college fairs wherein you have represented your college nationally. That is something that we call achievement, academically and as well as curriculum based.
Got it, got it. So a lot of people have just joined. उनको मैं एक brief intro दे देती हूँ कि हमने अभी तक क्या discuss किया है. We have asked the guests to introduce themselves. उसके बाद हमने उनको पूछा है कि किस basis पे selection होती है, which they've mentioned is profile based, and उसके बाद हमने profile का थोड़ा मतलब समझने की कोशिश किया है. We've also discussed the cutoffs till now. Now I'm going to ask you a question regarding placements, which is a very, very important concern for anyone who joins a particular B school, है ना? तो जब आपने सॉइल ज्वाइन करने का सोचा होगा, तब आपने भी अपने आसपास सबको पूछा होगा कि प्लेसमेंट कैसी है, जो फिगर्स होती हैं क्या वो सच हैं, क्या वो नहीं है. If you guys can, shed some light, and Pavitra, maybe you can contribute a lot here, given that you are in PC. So if you can just help these guys understand कि अगर वो soil join करते हैं, what can they expect as a placement scenario on campus?
So the placements right now, we have the placements going on. The placement drive is going on. And as of now, the interim highest placement as of now is 20 lakhs per annum. And till last year, the highest was 19.3 and the average was 10.3. And this year, the average, the interim average, of course, is somewhere around 11 to 12 because the drive is still going on. So we are continuing with that. And we have a few really good companies coming to our campus and our consortium partners. We also have 32 consortium partners, including Intellect Design and Mahindra and Taj Groups and Grant Thornton. And so we have all of those coming to campuses. And I think Anubhuti can give us an more in-depth analysis of how the placement has been for them being the second year.
Before that,
Sure.
Anubhuti, I just have a very small follow-up here, Pavitra. When you mentioned 32 partners, what does that mean exactly?
Ma'am, so when Soil was founded, all these partners came together to set up the standards and what they wanted soil to be as in.
Okay.
Because soil is not like, for at least what we know, is soil is not the typical B school that you can see everywhere. We have special focus on ethics and the 5 pillars of soil, that is awareness, balance, compassion, diversity, and ethics. So soil is more focused on cultivating ethically conscious leaders than just managers. So all these partners came together. We have 32 companies. They all came together with our founder, of course, Anil Sachdev sir. And they essentially helped us set up Soil and the vision and mission for Soil.
So you're saying that these 32 partners, so what I'm trying to ask is these 32 companies, do they come for hiring on campus as well, or they helped in setting up the B school?
They helped
Uh,
us in setting up the B school. And some of them do come to campus as well. And Anubhuti wanted to add something.
yeah. I will reiterate Pavitra's point only that these 32 consortium partners, they also participate in the placements drive whenever there is a vacancy with them.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. And Anubhuti, did you want to add something else as well to the placements point?
Over and above companies that Pavitra listed, we had many legacy brands like Amul, Dabur, ABC itself, ITC, HCL, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, Accenture, and some upcoming startups like Zomato. Along with that, of course, our 32 partners, they are also participating in our placements. Current average is somewhere around 11 plus, according to the interim report, as Pavitra mentioned. And if you look at the highest domestic package, that is 20 lakhs, and 27 lakhs for the international package this year.
Okay, got it. Somebody is asking about the different specializations that are offered. या फिर कि we can ask कि सारे के सारे companies का if you can share सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल कुछ कुछ कॉलेजेस कुछ पर्टिकुलर फील्ड्स के लिए जाने जाते हैं, जैसे सॉइल के केस में आई एम श्योर कि वो एचआर के लिए स्पेसिफिकली जाना ही जाता है, बिकॉज 1 year PGPM इन एचआर इज अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्राम विच इज ऑफर्ड. बट इफ आई हैव टू आस्क अबाउट द 2 year PGDM प्रोग्राम विच यू गाइज आर फ्रॉम, उस केस के अंदर विच स्पेशलाइजेशन वुड यू से a person should target and join?
So
So,
that's the best part. Utsav, I'll take a
yeah,
minute
yeah,
to
sure, sure.
answer. Because we have four kind of domains as most of the colleges: marketing, finance, HR, and the fourth one is the combination of analytics and operations. So now in our college we have two kinds of settings wherein you can have one major and one minor. So you are not going all in for a subject, you can always have a combination. And analytics being in and analytics being the call of the hour, you can always have a conjunction of analytics with all three subjects. So I think that way it gives you more opportunities in order to explore your areas of interest. Utsav, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Anubhuti. So basically, as ma'am, you told that for HR specific, I myself am a student of finance and marketing, so I've not opted for HR. So, but the curriculum and faculty here for the finance as well as marketing, they are very industry connected. So, like maybe other B schools, like very traditional approach of teaching, but in our we have a lot of industry experts who teach, as well as the teachers who are very well experienced. So it which take real examples of today's what company is doing. We have case study based. So which even though I'm not having a much of a, as I told in my start, I'm not having a much of a marketing background. I'm having a finance background. But still the connects which I'm making with the, because if we as today students we see that we know companies. So if we are getting taught about the companies which we are known to, we take more interest. So that really helps us. And I think for all the domains, like I myself, finance and marketing, it's a really good to go ahead for.
Got it. Pavitra, do we have any numbers for the median package? As a lot of people are asking if there's any info on that. Or if you could even share कि अगर कोई join करता है तो you mentioned the average actually, but median से थोड़ा ये idea लग जाता है कि मान लो lowest and highest के बीच में middle में कहाँ कोई lie कर रहा है.
So, ma'am, for this year, we have not come up with a median because the process is ongoing.
Correct.
But the last year, till last year, the median was 10 lakhs for
Okay.
domestic packages. So
All right.
I think that answers.
Yes. Somebody is also asking to share about the suitability, I would say. So I was mentioning this before the session also कि जब आप लोग एडमिशन लेना चाह रहे होगे तब आपके दिमाग में भी आ रहा होगा कि मेरा इतना स्कोर है, should I consider soil or not? So I am going to ask this question to each of you individually, starting with Anubhuti, of course. Second year वाले हमेशा फंसते ही हैं. तो Anubhuti, you are going to help these guys understand कि इस समय if they have the results of all the exams with them and let us say that they are falling in that range, तो उस समय आपने क्या, आपका कितना परसेंटाइल था जो भी आपका मेजर एग्जाम था जिसके बेसिस पे आप एलिजिबल थे, आप कौन से कॉलेजेस को कंसिडर कर रहे थे, why did you choose soil over those colleges, what were the reasons, and after that I also want you to cover, like this is the first part, the second part is किसको soil नहीं join करना चाहिए, also help them understand that point.
All right. Okay, so when I was looking for business schools, I had a proper structure that I was looking for. And first thing was good rankings. Second, I was looking for the curriculum, wherein, of course, in soil, you have a thing where learning with practice, education with application is going on. That is a beautiful conjunction of academics with industry practitioners. Practitioners are telling you how to do the business and they are giving you real insights of the corporate world. Third is the USP of the college, and in Soil's case, it was very well mapped with design thinking and self leadership. Fourth is I was looking for experiential evolution, that how will I become different after doing MBA from a certain institute. So I think Himalayan retreats and the social innovation programs, we talk about CSR, but how does CSR works? What is behind CSR? That I understood during the SIP program in Soil itself. Experiential Fridays, that after the hectic schedule of the classes, what are we doing on the Fridays? Like we say, what's in it for me? Fridays were the days when we were taking a step back from the studies and we were actually experiencing something different at the campus itself. Fifth was obviously I was looking for global partnerships, a robust college with good global partnerships so that I can have a exchange program as well along with my MBA from India.
मैं honestly बताऊं तो जब
Over and
मैंने
above that,
sorry, go on.
yeah, sure, go ahead, go ahead.
आई वॉज सेइंग दैट जब मैंने एमबीए कॉलेजेस ज्वाइन करने थे मेरे पास तो क्या है बहुत ज्यादा ऑप्शंस, मैंने बहुत ही कम कॉलेजेस भरे थे बट मैंने इतना मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था कि इतनी सारी चीजें होती हैं बिफोर एमबीए, सो आई ऑनेस्टली डिड नॉट रिसर्च सो मच अबाउट द बी स्कूल. आई वुड जस्ट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम अ वेरी प्रिमिटिव लेंस कि जब आपके पास बाकी ऑप्शंस भी थे एंड आल्सो हेल्प अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट योर परसेंटाइल वाज, व्हाट आर द कॉलेजेस यू हैड in place. How did you, like, which parameter was the most important for you and uske karan you decided soil over others?
All right. So I went in through NMAT score. I had somewhere around 219 score, and I had several options like Wellinka Mumbai, NMIMS Hyderabad, School of Business and Finance Symbiosis Pune, and Great Lakes Gurgaon. I had these schools in my basket as well. But one thing that really convinced me for soil was, I would say, the curriculum, and again the USP of design thinking at its core, because again, I knew the fact that everybody is going to have case studies in their curriculum. But how do we really practice case studies? How you know the problem, but how do we solve those problems? Case study solution is not just understanding the business insights. Case study solution is understanding real user experience, what they were feeling at that point then when they were facing that problem. So I think design thinking was the stepping stone for me.
So what exactly is design thinking? Because MBA के पहले I don't think anybody has an idea. In fact, मैंने तो MBA कर लिया, मुझे भी still नहीं पता कि design thinking actually में क्या होती है. So if you could
I
help them
was
understand.
I was as curious as you are. Back in I would say 2020, 2021, I had an article of HBR only wherein I read about design thinking. So I was quite aware. But again, in the journey of MBA, 2 years of MBA, I got to know that design thinking is no such course. Design thinking is a mindset, it is a process of implementation, and it is something where we practice. It provides immersions in the user experience only. It helps you understand the innate wicked problem of of a situation. Let's take an example that you are helping a visually impaired person or maybe a special person, special child with some kind of gadgets, or maybe let's take an example of a wallet. That's a classic example of design thinking. That how will you make that wallet functional for a visually impaired person who doesn't know how to set their notes and their coins? So design thinking gives you a structure, gives you a whole, I would say, sweet spot of innovation and solution in order to come up with out of box solutions for everybody else.
So ये आप हर स्पेशलाइजेशन या स्ट्रीम में पढ़ते होगे, लाइक जैसे मान लो कि आपकी कोई मार्केटिंग की क्लास है तो उसमें भी आप डिजाइन थिंकिंग इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हो या ये एक सेपरेट क्लास है?
Everywhere, everywhere. We are design thinkers. We put on our design thinking hats and we try to look at the situation with design thinking perspective.
तो आपकी केस स्टडीज भी उसका मतलब, सो फॉर एग्जांपल केस स्टडी तो आपका कोई ना कोई पार्टनर इंस्टीट्यूट ही बनाता है, जैसे हमारे केस में हार्वर्ड से आती थी जो केस स्टडीज होती थी. सो
Howard
इन
is
दैट,
our partner.
okay, so हार्वर्ड की केस स्टडी को व्हेन यू आर थिंकिंग ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन टू दैट केस स्टडी यू थिंक इट विद द डिजाइन थिंकिंग अप्रोच देन लेट्स से एनी अदर बी स्कूल दैट विल थिंक फ्रॉम अ मार्केटिंग पर्सपेक्टिव ओनली. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's interesting. Okay, Pavita, what about you? Like, what were the options you had? What was your percentile? Why did you choose soil?
So my options, pardon me for my sore throat. So my options were very similar to Anubhuti's, in the lines of per se XIMB and Wellinger, IMT, Great Lakes. All these options were there for me as well. A big part of why I chose soil was because so I am from a psychology background. I am embedded with the entire concept of liberal arts and psychology, reading, understanding human at its core. And that is one thing that I loved about Soil, that their emphasis on liberal arts. We have subjects like anthropology, sociology, and psychology that are core subjects, and we actually read and make projects on them. This, anyone can be a MBA graduate and manage people and become managers, but you have to know what people are and what they need at their core to understand it. And to adding to the design thinking part that Anubhuti mentioned, so design thinking was another plus point for me as well, because thinking outside of the box, thinking outside the box, and the empathy at its core. Design thinking emphasizes on empathy, putting yourself in someone else's shoes and understanding their pain points is something that a lot of industries do not emphasize more on. So in all of our case studies, the core concept is through the roots of design thinking itself. So we look at it in through design thinking itself. It's not a different concept for us, that we don't do it as a separate course all in together. We incorporate design thinking in each and every class of ours. So I think that was one selling point for me as well.
Okay. Somebody is mentioning in the chat box कि उत्सव को भी बोलने दो, अकेले लड़के को ही बोलने नहीं दे रहे. So Utsav, you take your time and help us understand what all options you had and why did you choose soil.
Sure. So basically, my options were one of the XIME. I had options from NIMS and Symbiosis Hyderabad. So I had one soil as the option, as I think most of the your viewers are same as confusion in my position that which college should I choose. So then again, like when I went through soil again, we as all the students which are planning to take up soil, they're trying to know how the soil is. So basically, I think it has exceeded my expectations because I was thinking, okay, I'm going to join MBA, but how can I be different from it? So one that unique, which I think Pavitra and Anubhuti, I will not go much on design thinking as they have already mentioned. Apart from that, like if we go, like I saw that they have a lot of activities which are planned. They have like this trekking Himalayan trek, which is going to happen for us in the next month, coming month. But apart from that, the activities which happen, so experiential Friday, which one is our unique, happens in towards the week. So Monday to Thursday, we all have a normal classes, but Fridays we all want to do some activities and try to relax ourselves and focus on other areas as well. So that's where we are like one we experiential Friday, we do our other activities. Everyone like before, maybe I didn't know what I can come up with. Like wanted to sing, but I never knew. So I just, okay, let's in maybe not in front of many people, but in front of just a group of people, I can try myself or
We are a
any
group
other
of
activity which I
four
can do.
people. Would you like to sing in front of us?
Uh, right now, it's just not like so
I'm
much.
just kidding.
But
There are
yeah,
around
that's
150 more people, so that's okay. Go on, go on.
so you just get to explore yourself apart from academics, where you can like what can be you can be indifferent in. So one soil, which again, of course, I asked my seniors that how would your life has been in soil. So that's when I decided, okay, soil actually is a bit of different from their methods and what Anil Sachdev, so which is very renowned in this industry, is helping us as well. He also conducts our session and teaches us a lot about apart from subjects. So he does not take any subject. He teaches about the how we can grow in terms of our industry. And anyways, as in the starting I mentioned that we have 32 partners and all are renowned companies. So that's when like Earth Soil excited me apart from the other colleges. So I
Hmm.
was thinking on, okay, that would be a better option. And I think there are till now I used to think, okay, maybe from morning to evening we'll have a class, and after that maybe we'll just chill, and then night we'll sleep, and then morning again get a class. But it's never like that. It's like I have no clue when I sleep, when I get up. There are case studies which just one yesterday's scenario itself. I'd like to take example. Yesterday around 11 o'clock, there was one case study forwarded to us. So we had to create a PPT, and we half of the group didn't know that we have to do PPT today. But at 11 o'clock, we called everyone, and then we were like, we have to do it tomorrow, and it was the second class. So it was that it doesn't just prepare you for something like you just study, it prepares you to actually be a future leader and you can take up any problem, because these are not just the problems of academic, but it is the problem which you might face in other ways. So it's preparing you for actually for a tomorrow industry and making you a better leader.
Welcome to the MBA world, where you get assignments at 11 p.m. and you have to submit them by 12. So a lot of people are saying soil over so and so institute, soil over so and so institute. अरे भाई तुमको कोई serious question पूछना है तो पूछो ना. अच्छा चलो, there's a question, finally a serious question about the roles offered in placement. Pavitra, can you answer this one?
Sorry, ma'am, can you come again?
The roles that are offered during placement.
Ma'am, the roles vary a lot. Like it is basically what is in demand and the vacancies available in the companies as well. So depending on your domain, the roles are very different. And this year we've had some good roles. We have associate consultant and HRBPs and all other roles as well. I think Anubhuti can take forward this discussion since her friends are getting placed.
The second years will always be better people to answer this.
Now that I'm done and dusted, I can absolutely answer this question. So, I am placed as a management trainee, and I would say management trainee. I can see many roles are coming around management trainee, business analyst, associate consultant, and then there are technical roles for data analyst as well as technical analyst. Yeah, these are some few names that I would like to take.
Okay. Somebody is asking, so it's Anisha. She's asking, what is the GDPI process? I think you guys mentioned there's GD, there's also GE, which is group exercise. What is both of them are different? You are supposed to go
Yes.
through
Yes,
both of them.
it's
So just
different.
take us through GDs, GE, and PI. If you can just help them understand what kind of questions are asked, what kind of topics were there.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh,
So, okay, Pavitra, you can take, no problem.
all right, I'll take it forward. So the
And Utsav
GD
will
talk.
definitely add because we're not
Definitely.
letting Utsav speak.
So the GD topics are more recent time topics, current affairs, and the recent problems that the society is facing in general. For example, like I had my GD on lockdown and technology and the latest trends in the business world. All those topics could be your GD topic. And then we come to the group exercise, which is a completely different assessment. After your GD is done, the candidates are taken to the group exercise in which you are given with a problem and the candidates have to discuss and come up with innovative solutions. This is again where we embed design thinking in them, because from here we start introducing design thinking, because obviously not everyone is familiar with the concept of design thinking, and the problems candidates do come up with amazing solutions to and very innovative solutions to problem, and then we also introduce them to how this could be done better, or what could be changed and what are the more innovative ways. So
So
this
give
is
me an
how we.
example. I would love to understand group exercises better because थोड़ा new concept है. Also a question here. So GD में जो भी जाएगा उसके लिए group exercise must है या it's an elimination round?
It's a must.
It's a must.
So let's take a step back to understand it better. That the admission process starts like a workshop only, wherein if you're shortlisted for the application, you will join a meeting wherein there are groups, obviously groups, and there are number of students involved. We have a brief session on design thinking itself, so that again people don't know about design thinking. We as design thinkers, we are using that jargon as if it is a daily routine word, but for people to make them comfortable with this term, we have a good 1 hour session of design thinking only. And then later on, same amount of people are pushed through GD process, dividing them into different rooms for GD, and then same amount of people goes through group exercise later for PI. There is no such I would say
Elimination नहीं है. Okay.
elimination among these rounds.
Okay. Now give me
That's
examples of group exercise. Utsav, you go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, that's what as Anubhuti and Pavitra said, that after GD, you're pushed into a GE rooms. So where you have a same set of people, but in GD, you are basically competing against each other. But again, in GE, you would be working as a team. So that's where even though as design thinking is not a subject to be taught, like we don't have a specific subject named design thinking. So that's when like it's a basically a process or a mindset which if given a problem to you, you are pushed towards thinking in that angle, which is like putting yourself in the customer's shoes. Like if for any problem is given, like maybe we are launching a product and there is a like we have to launch a product in the market. So how do we launch it? So what are the process? If a customer is facing a problem and we are solving it, how do we do any kind of activity or something which a customer is gets awareness, and we create a basically a presentation or kind of where we find out the solutions towards it and what are the steps we can take or what are the alternatives. So basically that's where even though the students who are applying might not know what design thinking is, but in this they are applying design thinking. So
So you are saying कि ये
And
जो
to add on,
presentation बनानी है, this is during that GE or this is when you join the B school?
during that
During
G,
the G.
they are working
Okay.
as a team. They all
Okay.
give
Got
their
it.
inputs, like one is giving their one slide they've taken and they're towards are automatically pushed towards thinking towards that how
Got
can
it.
we
I will
approach,
give
what
you a
is your
very
approach.
interesting example because I was participating in the admission process last year for them, for my juniors. And there was a situation wherein we had a problem that all of us, we can use scissors with right hand. But what about the lefties? They cannot use scissor. So you have to solve that problem for lefty people. Now think
Oh
about it
my.
and solve it as a group
Hmm.
exercise. That was one of the problems that we pushed for our juniors to solve. And
and a
in
few more to add to what Anubhuti said was this is actually an executed design thinking plan. In Rajasthan and water scarce areas, you don't have water availability in schools, especially for children. And the children have to use hand pumps, which gets little difficult for like children in fourth or fifth grade to use hand pumps to
primary
fetch
schools.
water, right? So how would you solve that equation or like that problem? And the actually implemented method was they installed a swing on the handle of the hand pump. So
Okay.
children can actually swing and get water. So that's how design thinking works.
That's interesting. All right. So I think I've gotten a good idea of GE. What about PI? What kinds of questions were you asked during your interviews?
I'll go first again.
Okay.
So basically, interview is somewhere where you establish a conversational energy with the person whom you're talking to. Uh, I guess I had my interview with one of the faculties only from the institute, and they are just trying to establish a conversation wherein they want to know who are you as a person. They're talking about your resume, they're talking about your academic insights, and I think that's all. That's all that we were discussing in that room. One major point that I later on I understood that communication was something that put me into an edge, and communication is something soil also puts hell lot of credits.
Got it. What about you, sir? What kind of
Yeah,
questions were you asked?
so that's how I still remember my it was as it was taken by a faculty itself. And I think the one most common question, even in your GD videos, how to approach GD, which I'd watched, like the first question, which of course comes, tell me about yourself.
Hmm.
So that's when they actually, what do you mean by profile or selection? So that's when I think my most of the weightage and most of the teacher understood how am I as a person. So first question was that. Then they of course want to know how much you are aware about the environment, what is happening outside. Not just if you're not just an academic person, well is your profile, how well you are interested in other activities. Because of course marks can come, but apart from that you need to be interested in other activities as well. So that's, I think PI did help me a lot to get selected here in soil. because they check your communication skill, they check how much you're awareness, basically how much you are creative if a situation, which I don't think so it was given to me, but one of my who's my classmate told that maybe one situation they can give, and they were asked that just how will you solve it, or your past experience, how was it? But it's just a normal conversation which you can have, and it's nothing to be stressed like, oh my God, it's PI, how do I approach towards it? It was a very good conversation, and just you get connected to the teacher, and teacher gets connected to you, and just understand how you are as a person. So that
Got
was
it.
my
Got it.
experience.
Pavitra, what about you? What were you asked? And especially, did you like, were you asked questions around psychology?
Not like technical questions about psychology, not anything related to the syllabus at all. But I am also involved in the admission process that is ongoing right now. So I think a clear idea of what PIs are is we are trying to look beyond your resume and what is easily available for us, because for soil as an institute is it is very important to get the students aligned with the values of soil as well, because soil holds its values at its core. So what we were looking for in the candidates as well, and what was asked to me as well, was beyond my resume. I mean, my resume was easily available. Of course, there is a hygiene check and your background check. Apart from that, what you are as a person, and where do you stand, and what do you want to contribute to society in general, what kind of person you are and want to be in future, and does all your values align with the values of soil? So I think that's something, and being authentic is was the best part of it. You don't have to actually sweat about preparation for a PI altogether. It was just being your authentic self, and that would, I think, solve the problems of everybody.
Got it. Okay. So we are going to do a rapid fire now. अगर आप में से किसी के भी कोई भी questions है that you want to ask, I will ask that to them और आपको within a minute उसको answer करना है. Whoever wants to take it first, you can take it first. And उसके बाद हम लोग कुछ questions ऐसे लेंगे, मतलब बीच बीच में कुछ questions मैं ऐसे पूछूंगी जो मेरे खुद के questions हैं. ठीक है? So guys, you can start typing the questions and we will ask them one by one. Okay. What is your batch size?
For the current year, our batch size is 300. For the our senior batch, Anubhuti, I think it was 203.
Okay. And this is what you're saying is only PGDM, or is it like
Yes.
the okay, PGDM.
The PTML.
PGDM.
Got it. Prachi is asking what is the average package of PGPM HR? Are you guys aware of that number?
That is also somewhere around 10 plus only.
Okay, and
I would
आप
say
लोग का sorry, go
we
ahead.
are 10. We are 10 plus. The PGPM HR's average is more than our average.
Okay. PGPM और आपकी placement इकट्ठे होती है या अलग-अलग होती है?
There are some companies who pool the placements for us, and there are some companies who do it separately.
Okay. Divya is asking if somebody doesn't have any international or national curricular activities, then are there any chances of getting selected?
Okay, let's take an example. I was an entrepreneur and I had some testimonials of my startups, established startups, with a Startup India certificate. That is also good for you. At
That is a
least
that is a huge achievement.
I
And
think
again,
I think
as
even
I
if you have done a prototype, you have done an MVP, you had an idea and you spoke about it somewhere, you have been a part of a good conference, that also works. Yes, Pavitra, go ahead.
As I said, looking beyond the resume, we are looking for people who are actually authentic and aligned with our values. So it doesn't matter if you haven't done anything like in at international level, it'll still be all right.
Got it. Jeet Zone is asking minimum NMAT score required to apply for soil. I scored 192 in NMAT. So there's no minimum score required to apply, but you mentioned the cutoff ranges. It was 200 to 210. So would someone like a 192 in NMAT, should that person apply?
Again, Yeah, they should apply, but when we make the rubrics of selection, there are weightages, different weightages. That's why we have kept it like that, that the cutoff is somewhere around 200, 210 to in order to get you that rubrics right, just the cutoff rubrics right.
So
Nothing over and above that.
so apply करना चाहिए या नहीं?
करना चाहिए apply.
Definitely they should up.
Okay. Akash is asking, please tell about scholarships and who can avail them.
So
I'll just go ahead. I'm a scholarship holder here. So we have around four types of scholarship. So one is like need based, one is merit based, and one is this Dr. Venjin or Korean scholarship. One is the Wards of Defense Personnel. So all have different criterias, and there are four scholarships available, and students can apply once for their
adding on to that, we have one more scholarship, Unique Achievement Award.
unique achievement. Yes.
यूनिक अचीवमेंट मतलब जो प्री एमबीए होती है आने से
Yes,
पहले.
pre-MBA, if you have achieved something unique, so we have scholarship for that as well.
So do you have to apply for these scholarships after you get in या फिर के एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म के समय ही बाय डिफॉल्ट आपका एप्लीकेशन हो जाता है?
Once you're shortlisted, either you can fill in for the scholarship then, or once you're in campus, on campus, you can still fill in for the scholarship in the orientation period.
Yeah, the admissions
Okay.
teams, like after you're selected, they roll out the process for the scholarship where students can apply.
Okay, got it. What is the Ishita is asking, what is the CAT percentile for soil? I think you mentioned 75 to 85 is a good benchmark number that they can use. Ishita, I hope that answers. Kushi is asking, is there 100% placement? What is the lowest package? Yes, this is a point that a lot of people were asking about the lowest package. Now to reiterate, अभी इनकी placements चल रही हैं for the current batch. So lowest तो obviously नहीं होगा इस साल का. But if you guys have any numbers about last year or you have any estimate.
So, this is a very big taboo where people talk about highest and lowest. There is no such thing, highest and lowest packages. When you are in a professional setup, there are industry standards. Company comes with their industry standards and packages. So there is nothing like you will get a 4 lakh or 5 lakh package company, or maybe a company with below industry standard. So we'll be getting our packages at par with the industry levels.
Okay. Fun Study is asking, can you guys please tell us what is company secretary post and is it growing or what? I don't think that's a question that MBA guys can
Yeah.
answer because हमारे MBA के बाद mostly managerial roles होते हैं. So yeah, minimum NMAT score हम पूछ चुके हैं 200 मतलब as an estimate. Does soil accept MAT score?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Got it.
ma'am, just to clarify one regarding the NMAT score. So, students having only NMAT or will not be, they need one of the other scorecards like CAT, CMAT, MAT scorecard as well, along with your NMAT
Okay.
score.
So अकेले
So,
NMAT के basis पे you can't get in?
As a supporting document, if you have any other scorecard, it will add to your weightage points. That's it.
Got
yeah.
it. Got it. But it accepts MAT, right? You mentioned, I think
Yes.
90 was the
Yes,
minimum
it
that
does.
you suggested.
Yes.
All right. How is the finance field? Harshita is asking in soil.
So the finance is as good as all other fields in soil. It is known for its HR rules, but we give equal importance to all four specializations that we offer. So I think that answers it.
Okay. Should someone consider PGDM in business analytics at soil? How is the
Absolutely.
BA?
Definitely.
Okay.
They,
You guys are smiling while saying it, so I'm assuming it's one of the popular specializations there.
Because we have major students, for my batch, I can speak that we have majority of students taking analytics in their majors or in their minors. So
yeah.
analytics
Okay.
is in the trend.
Okay, Samyak is asking when will I get the results of PI? So personal interview का result generally कब तक आ जाता है जब आप interview देते हो उसके बाद?
For in a week span.
Okay, in
Also,
a
it
week.
depends on the traffic we have regarding the candidates. If it's a huge lot of candidate, it'll take a little longer than a week, but
Okay.
as soon as possible,
Yeah.
All right,
around a
guys.
week.
Guys, इनका registration link pinned comment में है, description में भी है. I have a question here. मान लो कोई इस round में apply करता है जिसकी deadline 20th January है. अगर कोई इस राउंड में अप्लाई करता है तो उनका इंटरव्यू अकॉर्डिंगली शेड्यूल हो जाता है या फिर कि सबका इंटरव्यू एक साथ शेड्यूल होगा?
According
According to when they've registered, their interview will be
I
scheduled.
think it's better they apply for the earlier rounds so that their GD is conducted much before than later when all the other exams like MAT and other exams will be conducted. So that's when the more
Okay.
traffic comes. So it's better, I would suggest if you can apply in the first round itself, that'd be better. I was the student who applied in the first round itself
ओके एंड
last year.
इज इट लाइक अ रोलिंग बेसिस एडमिशन? व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू आस्क इज कि क्या ऐसा होता है कि आप ऑलरेडी ऑफर रोल आउट कर देते हो? जैसे मान लो आपने बोला कि पीआई इमीडिएटली शेड्यूल होना शुरू हो जाता है, आफ्टर फ्यू डेज आपका पीआई शेड्यूल हो जाएगा, एंड विद इन अ वीक इफ यू आल्सो गेट द रिजल्ट, देन डज दैट मीन कि सीट्स फिलअप होनी शुरू हो जाती हैं एंड देन जो लेट अप्लाई करेगा उसको मिलने के चांसेस कम हो जाएंगे?
absolutely first
Uh,
come first serve.
yeah.
गॉट इट, ओके. Can you please tell about the global immersion program and the India train journey?
So India train journey is the Himalayan retreat journey, wherein we go to the laps of Himalayas, specifically a place known as Siddhabari, wherein we were helping villagers with their local problem and the problems that they were facing in their government subsidiaries or maybe whatever kinds of policies they were not aware of. And global immersion programs, we have Italy and Milan global immersion programs, as well as Shenzhen in Japan. We have Royal Roads Canada as well, one of our global partners with our college. But again, I would say that Siddhabadi was my favorite. The train journey, of course, was my favorite because when you go on a long trip with your classmates for good 7 to 10 days and you're exploring with villagers, it gives you a very different perspective out of the roads and concrete jungle of town and the city. I think that was the best memory of my MBA.
I would really want to request the team to take me along the next time. Nandini is asking the minimum NMAT and ZAT score. NMAT हम discuss कर चुके हैं 200. ZAT, does soil accept ZAT?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any minimum you would like to suggest वहाँ पे?
Again, we don't have any same answer that we don't have any minimum criteria, but 75 percentile would be a better, or 75 plus
Okay.
would be a better. Yeah.
हर्षित is asking कि आपके graduate college से कोई फर्क पड़ता है कि आप कौन से college से आते हो?
No, I am not like there. I don't think so. It matters. It matters your what you have experience and what are your knowledge, and they don't. It really doesn't matter which college you have graduated from.
Okay. Khushi is asking a question जिसका answer I think obvious है, but it's like if we don't perform well in our interview, is there any chance to get admission in this college? I think वो आप
Again,
I
किसी भी कॉलेज में होंगे तो इंटरव्यू अच्छा नहीं होएगा तो ऑब्वियसली चांसेस कम होते ही जाते हैं. दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट?
but again, interview is not the sole part. We have GD and GE as well.
ओ अच्छा,
So,
हाँ, ओके, गॉट इट.
so it depends on how you've performed throughout. So if it's consistent, the chances are good.
Got it. Anurag has mentioned that he got in at 196 last year in MAT का score. So I think again the point which you mentioned कि ऐसा कोई fixed number नहीं है. It depends on your overall profile. Um, Purvaj is asking, do I have any chance of getting shortlisted with no such big achievements, but I have been engaged in college fairs, events, I've participated in a few competitions also.
I think being an organizer, being a person who comes with managerial capabilities, that is a very big achievement for you.
Okay. Harshit is asking, is there loan available without collateral or not?
yeah, there are options like after you're selected, there are options of loan and all other details you will be provided. Like
Most
so,
of you guys would have taken loan only, ना? हमारे batches में भी सब लेते ही थे mostly.
Yes.
Okay. How much scholarship do we get? Do you guys have any idea, estimate?
Again, depends on what type of scholarship it is and how have you performed, because for the scholarship as well, you have interviews and separate set of rounds going on. So how you have performed in that and how much do you actually deserve and need. So, and what type of scholarship. I think these three are the main points on which your scholarship amount is decided.
All right. Someone is asking, अगर NMAT में 207 हैं, can I get selected? But मेरी profile बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं है.
Ma'am, but again, profile is not the only thing that we look for. We look beyond the profile as well. So there's always a possibility.
Yeah, as like one again, GD, how you speak, your communication, how you're presenting yourself basically can make a lot of difference. And
Got it. Perumala is asking, what's the fee structure? What was the fee of your year, current year?
I think the fee structure is somewhere around 14 plus lakhs, but for the exact figures for this year, I think they can visit the website itself.
ओके ऑल राइट ऑल्सो यहाँ पे मेरा भी एक क्वेश्चन था रिगार्डिंग द फी सो हमारे टर्म वाइज पेमेंट होती थी आपका कैसा शेड्यूल रहता है ऑफ द पेमेंट
Term wise.
term wise, we have.
ऑल राइट ओके आई एम जस्ट चेकिंग द क्वेश्चंस somebody is asking कि मेरा PI 23rd को है and I have not received any email so where should they reach out अगर कुछ भी query वगैरह है
There is the helpline number and the email ID in the website itself. Either they could reach out to that, and they will be receiving all needed documents and instructions through mail, regardless. Even if they want to reach out, they can reach out in the number and the mail.
मेरे पास एक और क्वेश्चन है सिंस यू गाइस वर मेंशनिंग कि वी आर इन्वॉल्वड इन द एडमिशंस प्रोसेस उसका क्या मतलब होता है लाइक डू स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ सॉइल टेक इंटरव्यूज या ऐसा मतलब हेल्प मी
No, no.
अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट
So,
दैट
The
मींस
thing is, we have gotten scholarship. So for scholarship, there are certain criterias that you have to fulfill throughout the 6 terms that you'll be having here. So one of those criteria is working as a RA, that is research assistant. And under that, we one of the responsibility is coordinating the admission process. We don't take the PI, we don't take the GD or GE. We just coordinate them, and we are there if they need any help. And if the faculty or the panel member who are judging needs any help, for the PI, we are it's solely upon the panel member.
yeah,
गॉट
it's
इट
PI Benu hai, but GD we are available if they need any assistance.
आई वाज लाइक अगर आप लोग ले रहे हो तो बस लिंक्डइन पे बहुत सारे मैसेज आने वाले हैं फिर ओके सो डज सॉइल कंसिडर एकेडमिक्स तो अगर किसी के बहुत ही लो मार्क्स है मान लो 60s में है 70s में है देन डू दे स्टिल हैव अ चांस टू पिक इट अगर प्रोफाइल अच्छी है
Again, it comes to the first question only. If you are matching the criterias with the rubrics, and if you are ticking all the rubrics requirements, you are good for the admission.
Got it. Aman is asking क्या BSc zoology student हूँ तो will I get placed मतलब कि
I am
diversity हो तो
I was a biology student. I got placed with a really good package in a really good company, so anybody can have a similar chance.
प्रवीण राज इज आस्किंग क्या एरिया सेल्स मैनेजर्स ऐसी पोजीशंस मिलती हैं या नहीं मिलती एंड इफ यू आई डोंट थिंक दे कैन रिवील द एग्जैक्ट समर स्टाइपेंड ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन बट मे बी यू कैन गिव द इंडिविजुअल एन आइडिया कि एरिया सेल्स मैनेजर के रोल्स आते हैं या नहीं
Definitely in ITC only. If I would have opted for a PPO or for working with that company further, they had a role of ASM only for us.
All right. I think most of the questions have been accepted. Guys, एक काम आप कर सकते हो. One, इनकी registration links are in the pinned comment and the description. I'll also put it in the pinned comment of the live session after this. उसके अलावा what I would suggest is कि आप soil की helpline पे reach out कर सकते हो अगर आपको कोई question है. And I wouldn't really say that you can bug these guys because they have their own exams and stuff. But if you have any questions, आप comments में add कर सकते हो. What we can do is I'll reach back to these guys and get back to you in the comments के replies. आई होप कि आपको कुछ कुछ इंसाइट्स मिली हों जनरली जब भी हम लाइव सेशन करते हैं ना एक कमेंट बहुत ज्यादा आता है कि आप अगर उनको ऐसे लेके आ रहे हो तो वो तो अच्छा अच्छा ही बोलेंगे कॉलेज के बारे में सो आई वुड रियली वांट कि आप एक ओपन पर्सपेक्टिव देके ऐसा सोचो कि आपके जूनियर्स हैं जो कुछ साल पहले आपकी जगह पे थे जस्ट हेल्प देम अंडरस्टैंड एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन अबाउट सूटेबिलिटी अगर कोई अभी भी कंफ्यूज है कि मुझे सॉइल ज्वाइन करना चाहिए या नहीं help them understand in which case they should join but also help them understand in which case they shouldn't join so that they feel कि हमारे सीनियर्स ने हमें सही गाइड किया था so just help them understand that particular point starting with an anubhuti this is the last question that I'm going to ask you to take up first
All right. So I'll start with a very basic thing that when decided to go for an MBA, I always had one thing in my mind that I know that I'm a very disciplined, structured, organized person, and I know what I'm going to opt for. I knew that if I will get the basics, if I'll get the basics right, I'll be able to write the paper, or I'll be able to write my own career path. So, somewhere down the line, I had confidence in myself. Before the institute, I had the confidence in myself, and that's how I made a decision of doing MBA. Plus, uh, now that I'm done, almost done with the MBA, I'll be graduating in 2 months. I can say that if you are a go getter and if you are a hustler, MBA is for you. MBA, as in my terms, I would say MBA is not for lazy people. MBA is something which always keeps you awake, no matter what. So it's quite an intense course.
It is, but like particularly soil के case में, why would you join soil and who shouldn't join soil in that
So who
respect?
shouldn't join? I'll be very candid. People who don't want to study at all, people who are not bothered about anything in their life and they don't want to push themselves, they should definitely do not join the course or maybe institute. But people who are really looking for a transformation in their professional as well as in their personal life, MBA is your thing.
Okay. What about you, Pavitra?
So I think why MBA Anubhuti explained. I'll take on further on why soil and who should join soil. So, as I said, I am a person who has values at my core as well, because my father is in defense. So, the discipline and values were something that was built very strong from the base up. So, I knew what kind of person or what kind of corporate leader I wanted to become down the line, say 10, 20 years, I wanted to, what I wanted to do. So, and soil is something that aligned with my vision. And if you are someone who has those core values at heart, I think soil is absolutely a very good alternative to any other B schools. And things like industry immersion, and we actually have industry leaders come and connect what we learn to real life scenarios, what is going on in the industry in every field. So these are a few things that actually made the difference and made the cut for me. So if you're someone who's looking at a B school in all those points, and obviously we all have our basic research on ROI, and if we are going to get placed well, if we are going to get the summer internships in a good company, we all have done that research. But above and beyond this, if you're someone who has values and would like to align yourself with soil, then I think soil is good.
And why
And
Great.
not soil on that input?
Why not soil? Because as I said again, the same reason. Because values and design thinking and all these things is not just one part of our MBA journey. It is our MBA journey. We inculcate these in each and every point, each and every pit stop we come across. So if it's not something that you are looking for, then I don't think it will be the best fit for your future. So I think that is
Got it.
what I would like to say.
Utsav, what about you?
So, as for me, like, see, I'm not very much of a studious person who only wants in marks and the subjects and theory knowledge. So, if you want to join soil, you have to be ready for all other activities you have to do. Not only if you think that you have to just morning, if fine, you get up, study, evening, you come back and you're done for the day. It does not work here like that. You need to be ready for all other activities, the curriculum, the other like the activities which happen after the college. Then you need to stay back for other meetings, which of course which cannot be conducted during your academic hours, so which is conducted of course after the class. And I think as Pavitra was speaking about the industry connects, so here, like before, maybe I didn't know many of the industry people or many of the who is who, but after there are so many. We had recently one complete AI week. So basically, there all the whole week itself, we had only meetings with the in workshops were conducted by the industry professionals who was actually giving us the insights what is happening, and then that's how you relate it to your theory subjects. So I think if you're ready for that hustle, you can of course join soil. And of course, if why not soil? then that's what, if you don't know what you want to do, or you're just fine with basics and you're fine just to be a normal, you have to be a exceptionally well person and want to learn more. So then if you think just okay, I'm fine with even basics which I get, then you can try other, because MBA is leadership, which you're going to manage people around. So it's for them. So that's about
Because
me.
if I talk about one term, that if you are in that category, you should not join soil. If you're a procrastinator, you should not join soil at all. I'll
I
be very
think
candid.
if you're a
Procrastinator,
procrastinator, तो फिर तो MBA ही नहीं करना चाहिए, given that it's very
MBA,
hectic in like
absolutely.
most B schools. All right, so
Yeah.
I think we've had a fruitful discussion on a lot of lenses. Guys, what I will suggest you, and this is not particularly related to soil, but I genuinely want to say this to all of you, because दिमाग में ये चीज आती है कि even when I'm asking why not soil, हो सकता है कि many of you might feel कि नहीं और begin करो और चीजें हमें जाननी है about the B school. The best way to find everything about a particular B school is to talk to the students, talk to the current students, talk to the alumni. आई जस्ट होप कि इस सेशन के थ्रू आपको ये चीज समझ में आई हो कि जैसे इन लोगों ने डिजाइन थिंकिंग की बात की, मुझे डिजाइन थिंकिंग के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता था. सो आई पर्टिकुलरली फेल्ट दैट इज वन थिंग विच इज वेरी डिफरेंट इन दिस बी स्कूल इन कंपेरिजन टू अदर बी स्कूल्स. आई होप यू गॉट एन आइडिया कि ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज क्या होती है, किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस आपको पूछे जा सकते हैं, लाइक हैंड पंप या सिजर्स, वेरी इनोवेटिव क्वेश्चंस टू बी ऑनेस्ट. आई होप यू गॉट अ गुड आइडिया ऑफ द कट ऑफ्स एज वेल, कि क्या क्या रेंजेस आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो अगर कोई अभी ही ज्वाइन किया. आई रिपीट दम. कैट के लिए 75 to 85, एन मैट के लिए 200 to 210, मैट के लिए 90 to 95. अगेन दीज आर जस्ट रेफरेंसेस. ओवरऑल इनका सिलेक्शन क्राइटेरिया प्रोफाइल बेस्ड है, तो अगर आपकी प्रोफाइल अच्छी है, अगर आपके पास अचीवमेंट्स हैं, अगर आपने कुछ किया है, अगर आपका स्टार्टअप था, आपने इवन ट्राई किया था स्टार्टअप बिल्ड करने का, लेकिन अगर आप नहीं कर पाए, if you can just convince them in the interview, you would nail it. And during the entire session we also talked about the types of questions that are asked in interviews. So I hope कि इन सब points के कारण आपको कुछ अच्छा idea मिला हो. These guys also shared कौन सी calls इनके पास थी and why they chose soil over the others. So I'm sure कि if you rewatch the session, I will of course add timestamps there. I'm sure it will help you. So thank you to all of you for joining this session. I am sure कि आपकी contribution इनको help करेगी in choosing the right college. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much,
having
Pranav.
us.
Yeah.
Thank you
Good
so much.
night, guys, to all of you as well. See you the next time.